Okay, everybody. I think, yes, we're live on Facebook again. Hi, everybody. Cleta the Cheetah here. It's still January the 2nd, 2023. And tonight we are kicking off a 8 to 9 week series called Boss Babe Be the Game Changer. And I have to give credit where credit is due. Brand new National Sales Director, Karen Riddle, did the outline for this. And it is so amazing. If you are watching this and you're like, I need the book, because there is a consultant's guide that goes with this, you guys. And if you have it, you may want to get it out. But if you're like, I don't have the book, I don't know anything, under the YouTube link, I will put in the description the link for the book so that y'all can print it out and have it for this week, okay, or for next time. There are also going to be a few handout type things that you will want, and I will also put those in the link. But while we're on Zoom, I am going to actually put these links, and I want you just to copy them if you can. If not, like I say, I will have them on there. But these are some of the things that we are going to talk about. And so there's the link to all of them right there. Okay. So, but we will talk about each of them individually. So first of all, I just want to welcome to this. I want to say that I'd like to ask you to commit to not missing one. They will be on YouTube each week. So if you do miss one, go back, but they kind of build on each other. And there's 8 amazing national sales directors that are going to be doing some teaching every week via Voxer message, via Zoom. So first of all, I want to just show you this header because I know some of you probably don't have your booklet. So I want to show you this kind of header that's in the book that I thought was so fantastic. And it's about being a game changer. And so the definition of a game changer is a person who dramatically changes the course, strategy, character, etc. of something. Like, have you ever used that term? No, she was a game changer, or that was a game changer. Like, it's something that just changed the way you were doing something. All right. A visionary, innovative person who changes the way people think of a situation. And here's one more definition of a game changer. You. That's right. You are the game changer. So all of us are going to have to be the game changer in this new year of Mary Kay. It's a new year. It's a time for us to step it up. You can be the boss babe that changes, be the game changer in your national area, in your circle of friends, in your unit. And I have had people, I've been a sales director for almost 34 years, and I can think of times where I'm like, that girl was a game changer. She came in, she lit my unit on fire. Because she got busy, everybody else did. And it was like a train that you could not stop. So you guys, can't you think, what if you were that person in your unit? Wouldn't that be amazing if you were that person that was the sure enough game changer in your unit? Okay. So I want you to think about that as we do this. So as we come up with new ideas, I want you not to think, I can't do that. That won't work for me. Because what that is flat out the devil, in my opinion. It's the devil. Satan himself is trying to discourage you. So when that negative thought comes in your mind, when you hear the nationals say, give you ideas, I want you to think instead, go, I'm going to try it. I'm going to try it. Okay. It doesn't hurt to try it. Prove them wrong, because what you'll find out is these women that talk about it, they're not talking about it from some idea they got. They're talking about it because they have actually done it. All right. So what does it take to be a game changer? Shifting your mindset for sure, working smarter with more intention, staying in action, being willing to think a new thought, stepping out, try something different. And Karen put on here, you got this, it's time. The world needs you to be a game changer. And that is the truth. And one thing about game changers is they do change the world. God has given you everything you need. Now he's calling you to step up and step out to be one of the game changers that this world needs. So we are going to, how it's going to work every week is we'll talk about a few things, and then we will listen to the national sales director. As we listen to her, there is a place, if you did print out your book, if you didn't, just get your piece of paper out, y'all. Don't Don't make this harder than it is. I don't know how some people just make things harder than it is. Instead, just get a piece of paper out. But in the book, there's a place that has your Game Changer NSD for the week. You'll put her name down, notes on her story. Selah's going to share that with us. And then she's going to describe her game-changing moment. And you're going to write some notes about that. And then she's going to, it says, what will you take away from her game-changing story that you want to apply to your own? All right. And she is going to give us 4 things, and you'll want to write those down. And then what could you change in your business if you acted on those changes, and what's your biggest takeaway? And so we'll talk about some of those when we get done, but I'm going to ask Selah to, Selah, I'm going to bring you up here with me, but I'm going to leave. This is my good buddy, Selah Love, beautiful sales director. And so I am going to have her, I'm going to share the screen, and Selah is going to read a little bit about Jan Thetford. If you don't know her, she is one of the most popular. I shouldn't say that. All the Nashvilles are amazing. We just love Jan so much. Jan's a Ruby National Director, and we just see her a lot. She's one of my mentors. I just absolutely love the way her brain thinks. I think she's funny as all get out. It's easy for me to listen to funny people because I'm funny, or at least I think I am, right? So let me share the screen, and then you can see a picture of Jan. And then Selah is going to, she's going to read just a little bit of her story. And you can find these on In Touch under Heritage, and you can look up their names. So take it away, Selah.
Okay. Mission possible. My father always thought I'd own my own business. My mother knew I wanted to help people. With her Mary Kay business, independent national sales director Jan Thetford says, I've been blessed with both. When people ask me why I always seem up, I tell them I have a strong passion for what I do. Certainly, I've been blessed with awesome gifts of health and energy, but for me, realizing the Lord has given me a wonderful opportunity to impact other people's lives in a positive way is all I need to get me up and going. Jan also has learned to be a master organizer. The weekly plan sheet and the 6 most important things list help her keep her priorities in line. She says part of that is learning to accept that I'm never 100% caught up, but I have peace at the end of my day through my planning. I know I've done what I needed to get done. It makes it so much easier to change from my suit in my mind and put on my mama hat before I walk through the door at my home. I hope to leave my children with this legacy, have faith in God, work hard, set goals, dream big, understand that good things come with a price. The best gift I hope to leave my own family, as well as my Mary Kay family, is in some small way, I help them to be their very best.
And then go ahead and share her stats on the left, if you will, Selah.
Okay. Independent National Sales Director Jan Thetford is from Lubbock, Texas. She is in the Ruby Seminar. Her former occupation was a social worker. Her theme song is Circle of Friends, and a few of her highlights are she began in January 1981, and she was independent sales director July of 1982, independent national sales director July 2000, $1 million sales director 2 times, monthly Go Give Award, July 1988. And some fast, fun facts. She's motivated by goals and deadlines. And she said, my best asset is I can get along with others. And her favorite vacation spot is Hawaii.
All right. I love that. And her little quote up there, I don't know if you saw that. It says that, her quote is, a wonderful opportunity to impact other people's lives in a positive way is all I need to get me up and going. And I love, love, love that. So I am going to thank you so much, Selah, for reading that for me. We love Jan Thetford. We love her. And so I'm so glad she was the first one to do this. So Selah, I'm going to remove you right now, and I'm going to play her. And I need to ask y'all something, because I'm going to play her a speech, but I want to see if I can share my screen at the same time that and you can hear her. So what I need y'all to do is, let's see, I'll just put Jan's face up there again. And then y'all tell me in the chat, just give me a thumbs up. Let me pull my chat up. Okay, if you can hear this just fine, all right? Now I gotta find it over here, hang on. One momentum. Okay, I'm gonna have to get it up a different way. All right, listen what we're gonna do. I'm going to actually pull her up on Boxer, and then I'm gonna switch, I'm gonna get it going, and then I'm gonna switch it, and you can tell me, say, like, I can't hear it anymore. And so if we have a technical difficulty, then we just, we'll switch it out. If y'all could just see how many screens I have open right now on my computer, you would understand why I think it's buried under like 10 other things. Okay, hang on just 1 minute, including that PowerPoint I just did. I'll find it here in just 1 second. I know y'all can see it, but like I can't see it on my screen. Isn't that exciting? Where are you? Bless America. Okay, hang on, you guys. I'm gonna have to close every screen to get it open. It's okay. Talk among yourselves. No one can hear you, but you can still talk among yourselves. I've got all the things she's talking about on my background so that I can show y'all in a few minutes. And it's made every single thing I'm doing hidden, including the Voxer. What can y'all see on the Voxer thing? Can y'all actually see the thing that says Voxer? There it is. I found it. Okay, here we go. So just let me know if you can hear this once I change the screen.
Well, hello, everybody, and Happy New Year, Mary Kay Consultants and Directors. This is Jan Thetford, National Sales Director, making this message to you from chilly Lubbock, Texas. As we go into a brand new year, I am so honored to be able to share with you a game-changing moment that I had in my business probably about 30 years ago. Now, I had been in Mary Kay 42 years. I started when I was 23. I'll let you guys do the math, but I've learned a lot. Oh my goodness, about myself and about attitude management and money management and time management and business management. And, fortunately or unfortunately, I guess, depending on how you look at it, most of the things I have learned that have been beneficial to me, I learned the hard way. I learned through making mistakes. I learned through recognizing, this isn't going to work. And you guys, I believe that regardless of what season of life you are in, where you live in the country, how much time you are currently choosing to give your Mary Kay business, I believe that all of us get to a place where if we want Mary Kay to be a viable part of our lives, if we can deem it important enough to give it X amount of hours of time, then we've got to figure out how to work it around our lives. Many of you listening to me today are young, no kids, not married. Many of you that are listening are married with young kids or teenage kids or young adult kids or grandkids, aging parents. Some of you are living with people that are starting to retire. Some of you are living with people that are working 2 or 3 jobs. I mean, y'all, it is just such a universal business that I believe every single person that chooses to work Mary Kay the way that it's designed to work can be successful. Now, we all have reasons, I think, that legit ones that come along through life that keep us from being able to be as on top of our businesses that we would like to be, whether it be illness or deaths or or some type of emergency or tragedy. So that I'm kind of moving that out of the picture, but because those are the exceptions. For the most part, guys, I believe that the reason that women do not make it in Mary Kay, of all the stuff with all the training and the great products and all the support, is because we do not work intentionally. A game-changing moment for me, I remember what I had on the day I decided that I was tired of my business running me. And if I were going to make it and maintain a home that I thought was somewhat peaceful, thrive in the business, keep my marriage afloat, not have anybody jump off a building, I was going to have to get a grip on and work my business with intentionality. That day came. I had small kids, and it's late afternoon with small children. It's so hard, because it's too early for bedtime and too late for everything else. And there many times they're fussy, and I was trying to throw some supper together and had the kids, and had a customer call, and she was unhappy with me because 4 or 5 days earlier she had placed an order and I had just not had my act together enough to get it to her. And so I threw the kids in the car. We drove across town, delivered that product, got her somewhat happy. On the way home, I remember getting a little teary-eyed, and I thought, oh my gosh, Jan, you cannot do this. You love it, but you got to get a grip, man. You gotta figure this out. And that was the day, the game-changing day, that I decided I was going to work with intentionality. Y'all, we are created by our Father in heaven for progress. We are. It's the way we're wired. And when we're not progressing, we do one of two things. We either quit, or we get frustrated and get really negative, and then everything is harder than it's supposed to be and all the things. So I'm going to challenge you with a new thought today. What if, as we start this new year, you were to make intentional effort to building your business and staying on track? By nature, myself, Jan Thetford, I do not dot I's and cross T's very well. I am not a real detailed person. Follow-up has always been challenging for me. So therefore, one of the things I recognized during this time is that I was going to have to put systems in place that helped me stay intentional. Do y'all know that the base word, the Greekest or most original form of the word ambition, is the same as the word frustration? Isn't that interesting? That when we are frustrated, it truthfully stems from the fact that God created us, as I said, for progress, and therefore we are ambitious. And so when we are looking at a business where we are an independent contractor and the buck really does stop with us, we've got to make that decision to work intentionality. Now, the layman's definition of intentionality is just Jan Thetford's definition is, I'm going to do something on purpose. I'm going to make time for it. It's not going to be an afterthought. It's not going to be if everything works out perfectly and I have time. It's not going to be when I get everything else done. It's intentionally, intentionally, I'm going to work my Mary Kay business around all the other crazy in my life. And I'm going to do it. And I want to give you 4 tools today that have helped me through the years work with intentionality. Guys, honestly, if I could just be so bold, we got to quit blaming the government, goodness gracious, and God, and our families, and our children for what we as independent contractors have not been willing to do. Let's just face it. We've not been willing to. Now, if you don't want to, this message will not help you today. I mean, we've all got to have that desire, but if you are willing to, oh my goodness, the world is, it's filled with growth opportunities, guys. This business is second to none on support and encouragement and great products and great integrity. All the things that people want, really, we've got in Mary Kay, but they don't serve us any purpose if we don't tap into them. Okay, so back to my 4 things. Number 1, weekly plan sheet. Y'all, we know this. We've heard other people say it. Time spent one place is time spent away from something else. When I decided to get intentional, I decided to start scheduling the time I would work Mary Kay. Now, I could talk an hour on that today, and I won't. But if you have not been doing a weekly plan sheet where you sit down over the weekend and you look at everything on your plate for the next week, whether it be your full-time job or your home schedule or your children's schedule. You get that on paper, and then you find the pockets of time in there that you can do your IPA activity in Mary Kay, the booking, coaching, selling, recruiting. It can all be done. And it may not be done in big old chunks of time. It may be done 30 minutes here, 30 minutes there. I mean, when I was working full time and working Mary Kay and I got intentional, then my lunch hour changed a little bit. I was either running errands or running deliveries or making a few phone calls. And now we've got all these great ways to communicate, and we can do that. But you've got to make that decision to be intentional. So a weekly plan sheet puts your life on paper 24 hours a day, and you can get a grip. Now, do those schedules always work out perfectly? No, they do not. Somebody wakes up with a stomach bug at 8:30 in the morning and your whole day's changed. But for the most part, that gives us a track to run on. And then, y'all, you can build a life with Mary Kay around your priorities. And we do have the flexibility to work when we want to work and can work, but we got to work at some point or we're not going to have those benefits. So I made a decision. These are the nights I'm going to work. Am I willing to work another night? If I had to, yes, I would. Those are the exceptions. But I got into a habit, that I would work my Monday nights, Tuesday nights, have one more event sometime during the week, and Saturday mornings. And then the kids started playing sports on Saturday, so I had to shift that schedule. It's totally up to your call, right? But it was intentionality. I knew that if I put my week on paper, I could segue into paper number 2, and that's my goals. I worked with goals. I always do because that's my track to run on. So if my goal was to sell 300 that week, or to put Mary Kay on 5 Faces that week, or to get a new team member that week, whatever I needed to do, I had to make sure that the activity to do that was supported in my weekly plan sheet. And so that's when I started breaking it down into what we lovingly call IPAs, income producing activities. Our friend Mary Kay Emeritus Bette Vernon, she was the one who came up with IPAs years and years and years ago. And we just created them. I mean, we've recreated and created and done, and they are wonderful. But let me tell you why this is so important with intentionality. When you have an IPA checklist in front of you, then you are doing what you need to do to grow your business. And then most of us are like, I don't mind, Jan. I don't mind doing what I need to do, but I don't know what to do. This tells us what to do every day. And if you have just a smidgen of time on this crazy day, and you can get 2 IPAs done, then you've moved your business forward with intentionality. So I know that Karen will be attaching and sending some of these support materials with you, and the weekly plan sheet and an IPA sheet, so that you can say, I got 1 hour today in between ball games to work my Mary Kay, and I'm going to get these things done. I'm not just going to sit around and worry about it. Third thing, y'all, you've heard about a bubble sheet, haven't you? I'm sure you have. National Sales Director Tammy Craig made them famous years ago. I love bubble sheets. Do you know why? Because I can intentionally work the volume with the numbers that are necessary to get results. We're never going to be 3 for 3, y'all, ever. Nobody is ever that talented. It's never going to work 3 for 3. So I know that I've got to make 10 attempts to get 3 yeses. I know that. And so once I use this bubble sheet, and every week I make sure that I have made that 56 contacts, and they're not all going to be yeses. Some of them are going to be no's, but that moves my business forward. Okay, my last piece of paper. You ready? Weekly accomplishment sheet. Also generated by Mary Kay Corporate. Also on InTouch. Now, the IPA sheet and the bubble sheet we get from the field, from people in the sales force. The weekly plan sheet and the weekly accomplishment sheet we get from Mary Kay. Why the weekly accomplishment sheet? Because, guys, it tells you what you're doing. It tells you how much money you've made. It tells you how many contacts you've done. It tells you what you've given away in hostess credit. It tells you what you're paying in tax. It tells you how many hours you're working. It tells you if you're making money, how much money you are making, where your money's coming from. It is an amazing sheet. And when I mean, they're called weekly accomplishment sheets, y'all, for a reason. They're weekly, not monthly or bi-yearly, right? Or annually when you're doing your taxes. Oh my goodness. So here's where I want to leave you all today, guys, with those 4 pieces of paper: weekly plan sheet, IPA sheet, bubble sheet, weekly accomplishment sheet. If you just chunked everything else you were working with, you don't have to, but you incorporate these 4 things, you are going to work with intentionality. And consultants, you may have some questions about each one of those, and your director can answer that for you because she's worked with them herself and she's leading you by her example. Oh my goodness, guys, the value of working with intentionality. Success and moving forward in a business like Mary Kay is hard because we don't have systems. It's not hard because it's hard. We work with people, we work with a great product, it's fun, but we have to keep ourselves on track. So whether you're working Mary Kay part-time or more on a full-time basis right now, there's no sense in you having to do it halfway just because you're not giving it as many hours as maybe you're giving something else. So in this new year, just make that commitment. I'm going to work with intentionality. I'm going to get checklists. I'm going to have things to do lists. I'm going to put my goals on paper and check off every day. I'm going to work with intentionality and not just hope that something happens, but I'm going to do the work that will assure that my business will grow. Happy New Year, everybody.
Okay. You guys, that was full of great information. And I just looked at the time. I know we're a little bit over time tonight, but I thought it was very, very good. At the very beginning of this call, I put the link to all the Game Changer resources, just to repeat that. And so I will put it in here again, but I will also put it under the YouTube description. As soon as I get done with this, I'll go over there and put it on there. But the weekly accomplishment sheet and the weekly plan sheet, you can just go on InTouch and type it in the search bar, and it's right there. And the weekly accomplishment sheet, you can actually fill out online. Like, you don't even have to print it out. You can fill it out online. So I did want to tell you that. So the things that we want to think about, and we're going to make this, we're just going to kind of wrap this up a little bit tonight. But the things that we want to think about is the game-changing moments. And so hers was, she was tired of her business running her. So she gave us 4 tips to stop, to help us on that weekly accomplishment sheet, that weekly plan sheet, the IPA sheet, the bubble sheet. And she also said her goal, which wasn't really a sheet, but whatever her goal was for that week. And she made sure, like, for example, if her goal was to sell $300, she knew she had to do some faces. So she had a face goal. So then she looked at that weekly plan sheet. When am I going to do those faces? So it just kind of breaks down everything. And I love the IPAs, which is income producing activities, of what to do. And it tells how many to do according to what your goal is. So you guys, I do love these sheets. I will honestly say that for the 3 years before I was a sales director, I turned in my weekly accomplishment sheet every single week because we couldn't get recognition at our local sales meeting unless we turned it in at the door. Like, you could have sold $1 million, but if you didn't turn in that sheet, you got nothing. So I turned them in. And you know what? At the end of the year, it's like my taxes were almost done because I did it every single week. So some of you are already doing it, but some of us have kind of gotten out of the habit of it. So anyway, I want you to think about her story. Think about one of these things. In fact, just put it in the chat here. If there's one takeaway you could take away from what Jan said tonight, put it in the chat or on YouTube or in the chat here of what that would be. Okay. And then I'll go read a few of them in a minute. But I just printed out all of those, and I have a notebook with the consultant's worksheet on here. But in the back, after this, it has a Be the Game Changer tracking sheet, you guys. And there's one for every single week. So what I want you to do is at the end of this week, like next Sunday night, before you get on this Boss Babe call, I want you to go through and I want you to see what you can give yourself some points for. Turn in this sheet, take a picture of it and turn it in to your sales director. So like if you're in my unit, you can take a picture of it and send it to me. before the call next week. And then we'll do some little shout outs of who has the most points. But just to go over, in case you haven't printed your thing out, 20 points if you attend your success meeting with your sales director with your camera on. Okay, just turn it on. I'll say we don't care what you look like. I mean, I know you care, and I know sometimes I care too. Turn it on, you get 20 points. That's all I'm saying. I didn't come up with the rules. Blame it on Karen Riddle. All right. If you do a weekly accountability call with your sales director, so you have a conversation with your director weekly, according to what your goals are. All right. 30 points. For every new name and number collected via a skincare survey, a warm chat, or a referral, you can give yourself 10 points. For every party booked, a booking with 3 or more people in attendance, 25 points. For every party held, you actually held a booking, you held the party with 3 or more there, 50 points. For every face pampered with samples, virtual or in person, so if you mailed her the samples or if she came over, 20 points. For every career chat booked, 25 points. For every career chat held, 50 points. And for every new team member signed, 100 points. So that's all in there. And you want to have, so every week you want to do this. And this is what I know for sure. If you take this little book and you start going, oh, 0. Let me see. Oh, 0. Nope. 0. Let me see. 0. And you go all the way down and it's 0. And then you say something like, Mary Kay don't work for me. Mary Kay didn't work for me. Let me tell you what that is. That's you not working Mary Kay. Mary Kay works. But just like the gym, you have to go to it. Mary Kay, you got to do something. So you got to look at those points and do something for your business. And that's what I want to do too. Don't y'all work with intention. So we're going to just wrap it up tonight without having a lot of discussion because we just simply have run out of time. But next week, we will not be as rushed. So we will have more time. If you need anything from me, let me know. And if you don't have the book, let me know, or you can go to my YouTube channel just under my name, Cleta Colson-Eyre. Okay. And I appreciate all the sales directors that joined us. Let me show you this beautiful group right here. This is the gallery view. If you're on your phone, you can't see it. But if you're a sales director, give away. Let's see all the sales directors. Here, let me unspotlight myself so y'all can see everybody. Hang on just a minute. Okay, all the sales directors, put your hand up. Look at them all. Aren't they beautiful? And then all of you that you're participating for the Boss Babe call for the first time, like a unit member, even if it's not the first time, wave if you are a unit member, a consultant. Okay, and do we have any DIQs on here? DIQs. Let me see if I see Marley. Awesome. Who else is a DIQ? Wave your hand, put a heart up. I'm looking. Okay, so you guys 8 out of the gate. I believe that of these 60 people, y'all look at that, it was 61, 60 people, it's the 60th year. Surely we have 6 new directors in this group. Do y'all, directors, right? I believe we will get 6 to 10 new directors out of this group if we work this next 6 to 9 weeks. I mean, 8 to 9 weeks. Okay. So if we work it, all right. So I will tell you right now that there's going to be 1 week that I may pre-record this Boss Babe call because of leadership conference. But I may be able to do it. Anyway, it don't matter what I'm going to do. But anyway, it will be, we're not going to skip a week. So if you happen to miss it, if you're at leadership, it will be on YouTube. Okay, so don't worry about it. It's going to go. We're going to just keep it consistent every week. And next week, we'll start out the gate with the guest speaker on Voxer, and then we'll have some time at the end for discussion as well. All right. So thank you. I'm looking at all of these awesome feedbacks from everybody. And just to mention a couple, okay. Run my business. Don't let my business run me. Work intentionally every day. Quit frustration versus intentional effort. I love that. Do something, Mary Kay. Be intentional. Work intentionally. Success and moving forward in the business is only hard when we don't have good systems. That's the truth. Willing and desire, integrity, support, systems, and products. I love that. I like the analogy of going to the gym, right? Okay. I love all of these. Thank y'all so much. And we will see y'all next week. We will already be, just think about it. It's going to be the 9th of the month. So we've got to make this week count. Directors, y'all know we're all going to be leaving. We got to make the first 2 weeks count. So we are going to make the first 2 weeks count. So thank y'all everybody for your participation. Thank you all your YouTubers for watching, and I will have all the links on the YouTube in just a minute. Bye everybody. Thanks so much.